Okay, welcome to the Couch Bros NFL Show, Week 4 reaction episode. Rod is in the building, my co-host with the most. Rod, how you doing today, my boy?
Hey, you know what, my man? I'm doing pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Had a pretty smooth day at work. But my Sunday, we'll get to that.
No, we can talk about that. Do you want to talk about it now? Or are you talking about the Dolphins, or are you talking about your Sunday in general?
Oh, I was talking about the Dolphins, man.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. Rod, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Normally, we be doing a little sippy on the podcast, a little smoky on the podcast, Sometimes we're under the influence, as the young kids will say. However, I made a shot today. The shot was very effective, so I'm hella tipsy right now. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm slurring my words to the people who's listening, just know it's Rod's fault because he brought this Four Seasons? The bourbon? What is it, whiskey?
Yeah.
This is all on you, sir. Like, this level of fucking drunk that I'm at right now, before we actually even get into the episode, it's your fault, Rod.
I mean, I left it for you, man. I'm glad you're making good use of it, man.
No, hey, listen, I just completely overrated my ability to handle a cup of Four Seasons, bro. I learned my lesson immediately. As soon as we hit record, I'm like, wow, okay, that hit. But, we're here now. However, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to fight the urge to be a sloppy, drunk bastard, because we have a lot to get to, starting with the Bucs and Patriots. It was such a big game. There was a bunch of storylines. It was obviously the game of the week, so I feel like it'd be important if we just go ahead and start with that. So yeah, let's get right into it, man. Sunday Night Football. I know that you didn't really get to catch the entire game, but the little that you did catch, what was your opinion of everything that went into it?
Well, first and foremost, despite the score of a game, it was a good game. Sometimes you see it 19-17, you thought it was a really bad game, but I actually thought from the parts of the game I was able to see, it was a good game. It was clear that Tom Brady was kind of off last night, and a part of it was the Patriots defense. They did a really good job. Bill Belichick, man, I tell you all the time, Herb, they're annoying, bro. They're frustrating. Like Bill Belichick knows how to scheme against anybody. And of course, he was going to know how to kind of scheme against Tom Brady, even though really it was Tom Brady missing some throws, especially early in the first half. But it was a good game. Mac Jones played better than I thought he would, even though he's still Alex Smith. He's showing that more and more to me. I'll say this, man. New England Patriots fans are now in a territory that they are unfamiliar with, bro, and that is being mired in mediocrity, bro. And they got to watch their kicker miss a kick. And Tom Brady, listen, if you're Tom Brady's kicker, you ain't missing no kick, bro, because that nigga's going to kill you when you get to the locker room, bro. So Tom Brady's kickers don't miss, bro. Like, they don't miss, dog. And that ended up being the major difference in the game. But all in all, it was a very even game, even matchup. The chess match between Bill and Tom, I mean, this is what we were all waiting for, and ended up being a pretty good thriller.
Yeah, you picked the perfect word that I was probably going to use myself in regards to the game itself. It was a chess match, right? So I've did a lot of research on the game. I've been reading a bunch of articles, and I've watched a lot of film on the game, and there was a common thread that Bill had, and pretty much like this, right? Like, I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast. He's a obnoxious Boston fan, and he always says some ridiculous shit when it comes to his favorite teams. One of those ridiculous things actually came to fruition, right? When I was listening to the podcast, he was trying to make the point that what if Bill Belichick has been playing it really close to the vest in regards to a lot of the defenses that they were playing earlier in their schedule. Like, they didn't show everything they could show against the Saints. They didn't show everything that they could show against the Jets. They didn't show everything that they could show against your team, the Dolphins. And he was saying, what if Bill was saving everything that he really could do for the Bucs? I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was nonsense. I was like, come on, dude. Bill Belichick doesn't have time to be out here, holding shit to the vest. He has games to win. Then I watched the game. This nigga really was holding shit to the vest, bro. Like, he put bro, I don't think he game planned for anybody the past 3 weeks, bro. His entire focus this entire time was for Tom Brady when he came back, bro, because he did everything. Literally, he threw the entire kitchen sink at Tom Brady. He never did anything that you would think. There was a play where Tom Brady, in his mind, was like, you know what? This has to be man, based off of you motioning. Like, I motioned somebody, they followed you. This has to be man. The play developed. It was zone. Bill Belichick did everything in his power to try to win this game from a defensive scheme or defensive game plan standpoint. He changed his lineup. He had more DBs on the field than he's ever had or than he's had in the past 3 games. Like, he really wanted to win this game, bro. Like, put like this, that game plan was 20 years of knowing that I played with and coached arguably, if not the smartest quarterback ever, at the worst number 2 behind only Peyton Manning. And he knew that the only way that you even have a chance at Tom Brady is to never let him see the same look twice. And that's exactly what he did. But Tom Brady is the inevitable, bro. It doesn't matter. He's still going to win, bro. And that's ultimately what happened. The game, like you said, like regardless of the score, the game was good. And you want to know, matter of fact, I'm not going to say it was a good game because there was a lot of sloppiness, whether it was the rain or anything like that. There was a lot of outside factors that affected the game, but overall, the game was interesting. It was riveting. Tom wasn't at his best. Mac Jones wasn't at his best. The Bucs defense obviously wasn't at his best. It didn't matter. The inevitable always going to win out. Tom Brady is the inevitable. They won. I thought the decision, which I'm going to get your opinion on as well, I thought the decision to kick that field goal was ridiculous. I literally text y'all in a group chat, bro. I was like, Bill Belichick wanted Tom Brady to win, bro. Otherwise, why not go for it? How did you feel when you saw them going for the kick?
No, I mean, I'm in the same, but like, bro, Bill, you've been doing all this entire game, showing Tom Brady different looks to keep him off his game, to keep him off of reading you. And then you fucking go for the field goal. You know you gotta go for the throw when you go against a nigga like Tom Brady. You can't give him any opportunity. Even, bro, honestly, going for the field goal is the same as the same as just giving up on 4th down. Like, it's just a turnover on downs, which it ended up fucking being, dog. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and it was so strange because I'm like, bro, you're going for it on 4th down in a game where your quarterback completed 19 passes in a row. Granted, they were all like 2 yards, but still, 19 passes in a row is still 19 passes in a row. Like, I don't understand why he decided to kick that field goal. It's like, not only is this a 56-yarder, it's a 56-yarder in the rain. What did you think was going to happen? On top of the fact that Nick Foles wasn't even fully 100%. I can't, based off of the game that he played, it just felt like a nigga who was like, bro, I did everything I could, bro, and I still couldn't beat this nigga, bro. I don't even care no more. Let's just go home, bro. Like, if Nick Foles, if he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't care, bro. I threw everything I had at this nigga, dog, and I understand why he's the greatest of all time, bro. I gave him everything. Everything.
Tom Brady is the Shinigami, man. He is the Grim Reaper, dog. Like,
most def, man. So real quick before we move on to the to the Dolphins, was there anything else that you saw from the game that you want to just talk about real quick?
Not really. I mean, it ended up being the type of game we thought it was. It didn't really change my outlook on either the Patriots or the Bucs. I mean, the Bucs, they have Tom Brady. As long as they have him and he's healthy, bro, like, sky's the limit for them. And the Patriots are a part of a very familiar bad AFC East, man.
Let me go ahead and just say this real quick because I think it'd be important information to the people who's listening. The game plan that Bill Belichick pretty much concocted was to take away everything in the middle and force Tom to attack outside, right? And real quick, let me just throw this in here. So through 3 weeks, these are Tom Brady's numbers. So inside the numbers, he's had 76 attempts. He has a 66% completion percentage or success rate, and he's averaging almost 10 yards per attempt. Outside the numbers, it goes all the way from 66 down to 45, and it goes all the way from, well, not all the way, but from 9.3 to 8.6. Bill Belichick knew that, and that's what he built his entire game plan on, and it almost worked, bro. But again, the inevitable. That's what Tom Brady is, man. Now, Rod, man, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know if I could watch the Dolphins anymore, bro. Like, I'm gonna have to. I got to figure out an alternative, bro. Like, if I got to call CBS myself personally, CBS South Florida, say, bro, take these niggas off of national television, bro, please. I might have to do it. That's where I'm at this point, bro. Like, it's painful, my nigga. It's really painful, bro. So that's me, and I have no attachment to the team, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you get off whatever it takes. You went in last week, bro. I was like, there's no way my nigga could go in twice as hard as he went last week, but then this week happened, bro. So the floor is yours, sir.
Herbie, man. I mean, if I were to say that our performance, especially in the first half, was putrid, that'd be too nice of words, Herbie. It's just flat out embarrassing, bro. We're just not football, like, I don't know. There's niggas out there who play football, right? Like, this is the NFL, but these niggas ain't. I don't know what the Dolphins do. They're not playing football, dog. We made Carson Wentz, dog, who's one of the most mediocre quarterbacks in the league. We made this nigga look like he was reliving his lost MVP season, bro. Like, Carson Wentz, bro. Jacoby Brissett, and I know a lot of people are going to be down on the offensive line. They gave up 3 sacks. They've improved, even though they're still not that good. They allow pressure in quarterbacks' faces all day. But Jacoby Brissett, man, like, when you go back, like, I haven't had the chance to watch the film for this week, but I did have the chance to watch the film for the last 2 games. And he leaves plays on the field, dog. Like, it's like, I don't know how much better we'll look with Tua, but I know we'll look better, bro, because Tua doesn't leave as many plays on the field as much as this nigga. Like, there have been plenty of times where the offensive line gives him time to block, and he just doesn't pull the fucking trigger, bro. It's become maddening, and there was nothing more apparent about it in the first. Like, we got the worst parts of all of our offense in the first half, Herb. The offensive line couldn't hold their blocks. They had sacks that killed drives. We had drive-killing penalties, dog. Austin Jackson is just mind-numbingly just hard to watch. It was just, when you watch the Dolphins, dog, like, even on the touchdowns that we score, it just looked like Mike Gesicki almost dropped the ball and there was nobody around him. That touchdown pass to Devontae Parker was almost overturned because it was just a last-ditch pass in the back of the end zone in between 2 defenders that he just happened to, make a good catch on. But when you look at the Dolphins as a whole, I just gotta be honest, man. We're a bad team, man. Like through the first 4 weeks of the season, it's just, I can't put it all on Brissett because even our defense started off hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had 2 drives that ended in sacks. Fucking, you know what's funny? I forgot. I took notes, Herb. I took notes. So let me read some of my notes that I was taking while watching the game, bro. This is me live watching because I was like, you know what? Since I'm not doing random red zone yet, all right, so boom. First 2 drives were weak, but the 3rd drive has been good. Defense continues to be the obvious strength of the team. Akbar already with a sack, special teams with a turnover. Neither O to do their part. The drive ends with a sack and a delay of game into a punt. This play drove me insane, bro, because we couldn't. Jason Sanders is a good kicker. We waited till the clock went to 0 just to fucking punt the ball. Ended up being a Sam Eggervon sack. 3 and out. Brissett with 2 pretty bad throws that could have been. Brissett was awful in the first half. Like, I was watching the game like, God, who can win with this guy? We had an offsides on a punt that gave the first this was what opened the floodgates, dog. We had been dominating the game. Like, if you look at the score of the game and you let the fucking analysts tell it, the talking heads who didn't watch shit, they'll say, oh, the Colts dominated the game. We were dominating that game up until this point. We fucking stopped these niggas again, and then fucking Scarlett, this dumbass nigga, fucking has an offsides, bro, on a fucking punt. How the fuck do you do that? You just gave these niggas a first down. So I write this. If I'm being honest, Dolphins just look like a bad team. I can't wait for this half to be over. Fans have started booing, indicative of what this game is. Uninspiring performance thus far. And that just sums up what the Dolphins are. We are an uninspiring football team. When you watch us, there's no life. There's no joy. The one thing I can say about the Fitzpatrick era of the Dolphins, which is why he's my favorite Dolphins quarterback, we were fun to watch. Like, regardless of how the 5-11 season went and the 10-6 season went, when you watch the Dolphins game, it wasn't like you could watch the Dolphins game and it could be fun. Like, we had some great games, whether it was with Tua or with Fitzpatrick last year. This year, every single game, when you watch our offense, it's just watching our offense is like throwing your face into a beehive, dog, and just letting bees sting your eyes out. Like, it's shit. Oh my God. It's fucking brutal, dog. Let me give you some stats for the Dolphins, dog. We had 203 total yards. We're averaging like 250 yards a game. Awful. We are averaging 4 yards a play, Herbie. We are averaging 4 yards. That is absolutely dreadful. We allowed 3 sacks. We were 3 of 11 on 3rd down. Like, it's just, bro, time of possession. We only had the ball for 22 minutes. The Indy had the ball 37 minutes. We are continually putting our defense in bad positions. And, some people think the defense has fallen off. I just think the defense just, like, they watch our offense and they're just like, why would we play hard for these niggas? Like, these niggas
Yeah,
suck.
that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize about football, right? Because from the outside looking in, especially if you're a fan, you just swear up and down that these guys put their entire soul into every play. Bruh, if it's 3, 4, 5, 6 games into the season and your offense sucks, and you know, a lot of former players will tell you, it's like, bro, you just wait. It's like, all right, you just do enough to not look bad on film at that point, bro. Because why? What are you playing hard for? The season's already over, dog. At that point, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's going on with your defense. Like, you guys have Byron Jones, you have Xavier Howard, and they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard enough. But eventually, you're not going to be as laser focused as you were the beginning of the season. Like, at the end of the day, if I'm Xavier Howard and I know that Jacoby Brissett is my quarterback, bro, why am I going to play hard? For what? For what?
And you know what? I love that you brought him up because I noticed him get beat a few times in this game. Like, there was a few times where the Colts had big gains, and it was number 25 trailing the nigga. And I'm thinking to myself, there was one play he looked like he was making the laziest tackle. I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, y'all even got X is deflated. Like, and I don't blame him. Like, when you, like, bro, Herb, dog, our offense is such a dumpster fire. Let me ask you this question, dog. Or, you know what? Not even ask you this question. I'm just going to inform you of something that I just recently found out that I find very interesting. Let me know your opinion, dog. So we already had 2 offensive coordinators, but what I didn't know was that we have another nigga calling plays, man. Charlie Fry. Like, so let me get this straight. We got Eric Stewsfield, Charles Godsey, and then we have another nigga who's running around giving the plays. Like, bro, what we're doing on offense in terms of the coaching, in terms of the planning and scheming, it's just not working, bro. It's just not working. We drafted Jalen Waddle. We ended up getting Will Fuller, and we have no explosive plays, dog. Like, Jacoby Brissett in the first half wasn't even looking down. The only time the Dolphins attack the field is when the game is just like, well, we have no choice. And it's just like, why do you have to wait until you're down 20-3 to actually look like, oh, we're actually a fucking football team? Like, dude, it's just, man, I feel bad for fans. Like, basically what this season is turning into at this point, we started with expectations, you know, okay, the Dolphins should be a team that could make the playoffs. At this point, we need to just see what Tua is, bro. That's what this season is turning into. Like, let's see, like, what this team looks like with this nigga at the helm, because it can't be any worse than this, bro. It can't be any worse. And if it's any worse than this, or if it's as bad as this, or even just only a little better, we know he's not the guy. And that's all I can say at this point.
Okay, let me ask you this. As a fan, I want to get your opinion on this because I think this is an important conversation. And the more I'm watching players go to certain organizations, the more I realize that you just never had a chance, right? And I'm not making a 180 on Tua. I to this day, I know for a fact Justin Herbert is always going to be a better player than Tua because he's just more physically gifted. It ain't nothing personal. It's just he's fucking 6'6", 240, and he could throw a 40-yard pass without even trying, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He has the traits. Yeah.
He has generational traits. That's what it comes down to. And then you have somebody else but this is where the conversation comes back to organization. The Dolphins have a player with generational traits, if you want to say that Jalen Waddle has that. He has 3 receptions for 33 yards or whatever it was. Like, he had 12 receptions for 58 yards last week. How is he turned into a possession receiver? This is insane. It's madness. And then you have Jamar Chase, who's catching a bomb every play. And then you have Devontae Smith, who just went for over 100 yards this past Sunday against the Chiefs. So as a fan, are you starting to question the organization from the top down? And do you feel like the players that you're drafting aren't given a chance because they're not properly developed, or you got people that don't really know how to use them and they just drafted them anyway? Do you feel that? Are you coming to that point in regards to how you feel about your team?
You know what, Herb? I got to say that you just posed me a great question, and I can't help but say that I've been feeling that way for a while because, man, there's a lot of players who, when they leave our organization, they end up being better. Bro, Ryan Tannehill became a top 10 quarterback when he left the Dolphins, bro. We had that nigga for 7 years. He's been a top 10 quarterback statistically since leaving Miami, bro. Since taking over from Mariota, bro. He hasn't dipped at all. Like a lot of people thought the first season was a fluke, and then last year he balled out. You know what I'm saying? And this year, he's played. This year he's come back down to earth a little bit, but he's still better than he was when he was here. And it's not just him as a quarterback. You look at Laramie Tunsil. You look at other players like Olivier Vernon had some good years with the Browns, better years than he had with us. It's just you see a lot of players go to other teams. Jarvis Landry, like it's just other guys. Guys come here and they have a certain role and they don't really maximize their potential. Like Mike Wallace was catching bombs in Pittsburgh, was catching bombs in Baltimore, but he came to Miami and what was he? You know what I mean? It's just I think when it comes to our organization, we could just never figure shit out. And I like Brian Flores. Like we're 4 games into the season, so I don't want to, I don't think the ship is completely sailed. It's not like the season. Crazier things have happened in football. And I remember there was a year with Adam Gase where we started 1-4 and we made the playoffs. So, anything can happen because football is crazy. But from what I see, dog, it just seems that teams seem to reach their full potential when they're not on the Dolphins. And that's concerning, bro. And I don't want to tie that down to just this coaching staff because it's not fair to Brian Flores and to the new staff that are here. It is fair to say with Chris Greer, who's been with the organization for quite some time, he's on the hot seat, man, because you had 3 first-round picks, Austin Jackson, who's looking like a disaster, Noah, who can't even get on the field, bro. Byron Jones gets hurt, and fucking they throw Justin Coleman in the game. That's how you know, like, come on, bro. And then with Tua, the jury's still out. And honestly, even with Tua, the saddest thing about Jacoby Brissett being the quarterback, he's a big-bodied guy, so he can kind of take the punishment better than Tua can. I just, I don't even know. The saddest thing is, and I forgot, I was talking to someone about this. I don't remember who, but I was telling them like, we could have, if the roles were switched and we drafted Herbert and Tua went to the Chargers, I'd have obviously Tua wouldn't look like Herbert does, but I think we will see a better version of him with them than Herbert with us, bro. Like I'm starting to feel like it doesn't matter who we get. We could get Deshaun Watson to make him look bad. Like I'm starting to feel like that.
Wow, that's a terrible place to be as a fan. I'm not gonna go lie to you. Like on all jokes aside, bro, it is alarming because now you're getting to a situation where it doesn't feel like there's any way out in regards to the Dolphins. And the organization from the outside looking in, you guys aren't the Browns pre-Baker Mayfield, bro. You're not these bottom feeders. You're not the Jags, bro. You have history. You have history of success. Like you were almost in the playoffs just last year. And we can leave it at there. Anything can happen, like you said. We'll monitor the situation. Rod, we've been doing this podcast technically since 2009, 11, whenever. I've never heard you this dejected about your team, bro. Never.
Nah, I mean, bro, I came to that epiphany watching the game yesterday because it's like, hey, you know what makes it hurt, Herb? And I'll leave it on this note because we can get to your Cowboys, who at least thankfully one of our teams is looking up on the up and up. I'll leave it on this note, bro. When it comes to the Dolphins, I rarely have high expectations for the Dolphins. I mean, I think last year when we did the preview, I think I said we'd go like 8-8, 7-9, and then we ended up going 10-6. Like I rarely ever have like really, really high expectations. Like, bro, I was genuinely excited to see my team this season. Like I'm still not down on Tua because we haven't even really seen the nigga play. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I was hyped to see Tua. I was hyped, but it's just this season's just shaping up to just be like the same old Dolphins, but it hurts more because for once I thought like, oh, okay, like there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel, but we're not in the tunnel, Herb. It's an abyss, man.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that, bro. But let's lighten up the mood. Let's talk about my team. And I'm not in a position to gloat because this isn't the first time that we've had a good Cowboys team, especially in us doing this podcast. My standards are at the point where I do not give a fuck what the Cowboys do in the regular season anymore. I just don't. I don't. We've had too much talent for too long for me to get hyped about us dominating the Panthers the way we did. However, I do want to say that for the first time in a long time, this feels like everything has finally come together, right? We had a Cowboy super fan, somebody who's on our own podcast, a friend of the show now, Mary Ella, a.k.a. @StarGangBeauty on Twitter. And we had a whole preview show pretty much everything that we said that we wanted to see in regards to the Cowboys and the Panthers game, it came to fruition. My team was dominant like I wanted to see. We attacked what we could attack. The holes that we saw in the Panthers all came to fruition. I said that Sam Darnold is going to show his true colors. That happened. I said that we should dominate. That happened. I said that the Panthers have not really been tested, so we're going to really see who they are. That came to fruition. Everything came to fruition, and I was happy. Trust me, don't get it twisted. But I'm at that point where I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And most Cowboys fans, because I follow a lot of Cowboys fans, they were going crazy. And trust me, I'm not here to take away that excitement because this is a positive step going forward. However, I never thought I'd see myself get to the point where, as a fan, I don't care about a regular season win. I'm acting like I'm a Patriot fan or some shit, right? Or like I'm a Bucks fan where the regular season doesn't matter. We got to do this in the playoffs. But I deserve that. I have a $40 million a year quarterback. I have a $90 million cornerback. I have a $70 million left tackle. I have a $200 million offensive line. They better do this shit. They better do this shit, bro. And I'm holding them to that standard. However, now that I got that out of my system, I do want to talk about the game. The game was fucking fun as shit. There was little points in time where I was kind of confused and I was kind of nervous because we scored early, we got the lead early, and then all of a sudden it was 14-13, and Sam Darnold turned into fucking 04 Mike Vick. Y'all just letting this nigga run all over the fucking place, dog. What the fuck was that? The hell is going on? And I was getting nervous, and then this is the reason why I feel very comfortable about my team now. I don't remember the last time where I was a Cowboys fan and I was like, okay, we're going to make adjustments. I'm used to us playing to the competition. I'm not used to us making adjustments. And that's exactly what we did. Kellen Moore has been a star. You could see why Jerry Jones was like, whoever takes this head coaching job, you have to take him. You have to. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. He's basically going to be our head coach in like 2 or 3 years. That's literally what's going to happen.
He's being groomed. He's just being groomed.
Yeah, he's just being groomed. That he's going to be the head coach in like 2 or 3 years. We know that. You feel me? All these guys are lame ducks, as you would say. Mike McCarthy, whoever, right? Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn has been the Dan Quinn that he was in Seattle. And this just lets me know that the Atlanta Falcons are a cursed franchise because Dan Quinn couldn't even fix their defense, bro. I thought that he lost his talent, bro. I thought he forgot how to call defenses, bro. It's just the Falcons, bro.
You're not alone, bro. I mean, there's been plenty of times on this podcast, even when we talked about it before, we had no faith in him, but he showed his coaching bones, like, bro.
Watching that game and watching his game plan in the second half and how he completely figured out how to stop the Panthers, it just reinforced what we talked about in regards to the Dolphins. It is not the people. It's the organization. Like, he walked in that building in Atlanta and forgot how to coach, bro. It's so weird, dog. It doesn't matter. If you are a coach for the Jets, the Jaguars, the Atlanta Falcons, the Lions, and possibly the Browns, Kevin Stefanski withstanding, you just forget how to play football. There has to be a eternal, universal curse on these teams, bro. There's nothing else makes sense, dog. Like, did you see the Lions-Bears game? There's no way a professional football team could lose the way the Lions did, bro. And they had 4 straight possessions in the red zone, and they all were turnovers. One was a fumble. One was a turnover on downs. Another one was a fumble. Like, in the most ridiculous ways, bro. Like, sometimes you just can't be greater than the organization you go to. Now he's a defensive coordinator, and we completely shut down the Panthers. We completely shut down what Joe Brady was doing. Now, I don't know if I want to take complete credit because, again, the Panthers didn't play anybody, bro. They played the fucking Jets, man.
Right.
Who did they play? I don't even know who the past 3 games, the best team that they played, bro. They played Davis Mills. At one point, they were on a pace to be a historically great rushing defense. Then they played us, and we had 245 yards on them. We had 7.7 yards per attempt, dude.
You guys brutalized them.
Brutalized them, and that's where Kellen Moore, the Kellen Moore acquisition, and the fact that he has to stay. He realized that he was like, "Oh, they can't stop the run. Fuck it, let's just jam it down their throat." Like, they're just jamming down the throat. We had 433 yards of offense on this team, and that is with my quarterback, Dak Prescott, only passing for 188 yards. And we still have 433.
And you know what, Herb? In regards to Dak Prescott, we know some people who have Gerson that have kind of downed your quarterback. But I gotta say, he's looking elite. Like,
Yeah,
Dak
for
is
sure.
all the throws, dog. Like,
He's making every throw. And the thing about Dak, which goes back to last year and like literally the second half of 2 years ago, he has mastered the position, right? I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the league, but there are certain people where they get to that level where they just master the position. That is Aaron Rodgers, that's Tom Brady, that's Peyton Manning, that's it. I don't even think Patrick Mahomes has mastered the position. There's a certain level of nuance and understanding that you have to say you're a quarterback master, you're a quarterback sensei, right? Patrick Mahomes still, there's a little bit of holes in his game. He's just so unbelievably talented that it doesn't matter. Dak Prescott is in that echelon where he is a quarterback master. He calls everything at the line. He gets everybody in the right position. He calls the right protections. He makes sure that everybody knows exactly where they're going to be. He knows what you're doing and how to react on the fly. Like, he was on pace to break the passing record last year for a reason. He just got hurt and he broke his ankle and his leg. You know what I'm saying? But now we're seeing him just understand how to be efficient at the position. It doesn't matter if you throw for 1,000,000 yards or you throw for 10. It's about how efficient you are doing it. And he's truly mastered how to get the most with doing the bare minimum. He had 4 touchdowns and he only had 188 passing yards, bro. That's mastering the position in a sense. And it's really, really great to see because he's at that level. Our offensive line is coming together. Our defense, which has been our Achilles heel for years, we had one of the worst defenses of all time last year. Trayvon Diggs, this nigga turned into motherfucking Xavier Howard, bro. Did he swap souls with that nigga or something, bro?
He might have, bro. Like, you know what, Herb? Your team has what I think a lot of hardcore football fans. There's two things you want on your team, bro, that you gotta have: an elite quarterback and a corner, and not just a shutdown corner, but a nigga that can change the flow of the game, bro. A true fucking cornerback, a true ball hawk, nigga. And that's what Trayvon, bro. He has 5 picks in 4 games, bro. We're 4 games into the season, and with seasons like these, quarterbacks always test these niggas, bro. This nigga might break this nigga could break the record, dog. Because he's not like X. Like, X be dropping picks. Like, bro, if you throw it to Trayvon, he turns into his fucking brother, nigga. Like, you throw that ball that nigga way, he catching that shit, bro. Like, that shit it's a marvel to watch, dog. Like, bro, on both Sam Darnold's picks, like, red zone just flashed perfectly to the plays, bro. And he just made some just awesome fucking picks, dog.
No, definitely, bro. And that was the part, because that's the thing that we've been missing for years, bro. An opportunistic defensive player. Like, we haven't had a game changer on defense since DeMarcus Ware. Honestly, that's the last time we had a game changer. We'll go ahead and move on to the next couple of games that we want to talk about. I'm encouraged. That's exactly where I want to be.
No, it's good, Herb. You guys play complementary football, and any team that does that is dangerous.
For sure. Before we move on to the second half of the show, is there any games that you wanted to touch on in particular? Yeah, Ravens, Broncos, which ended up being a stinker when Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. You had the Packers and going against the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger is washed. Spoiler alert, you're going to hear his name again. I guarantee that by the end of the show. I don't know what else. You had Rams. Okay, boom, perfect. Rams and the Cardinals. That was the surprise of the week for me. I understand it's division games. I get that. But, dude, the Cardinals put a stank on them niggas, dog. Jesus Christ, man.
Nah, man. Kyler Murray and them boys are looking like they're going to be a lot to handle, bro. Who'd have thought 4 games into the season we would be thinking that they may be the best team in the division, with a Rams team that we just seen mollywop the Bucks. This is the beauty of the NFL, man. And this is one of those games that I actually had them on one of my tickets, bro. I had them niggas to cover, bro. I wasn't sure. I thought about money lining them, but I was like, you know what? I know they'll at least cover, dog. And when I seen what was happening, I'm like, damn, I should have money lined these niggas. That ticket got bust anyway, man. Fuck the Falcons, by the way, man. Bro, the Falcons are just one of the most miserable teams. Like Matt Ryan, dog. Like, who are you, bro? Like you were a former MVP. You know that, right? Like you gotta play, like, bro. Like I hate these niggas, bro. I'm not putting no more money on these niggas the rest of the season, man. I just had to put that out there, dog. Just thinking about it, because the best ticket I had, it was the Falcons who let me down. But in regards to this game, though, I mean, it was, it was a good game, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a game that I wanted to touch on before I forget. I have to talk about the Tennessee New York Jets game. We got an old school Tannehill sighting, man. These niggas had 7 sacks, bro. The Jets had 7 sacks, man. That's
was it like 5 of them on third down where he just literally took a sack to take himself out of field goal range, bro? Like the worst sack that you could take, bro.
Bro, it was prime Tannehill, bro. Like watching it, every time Red Zone cut to him getting sacked, I'm like, yeah, that's the one thing that nigga never changed. The offensive line just blocked better the past couple years, bro. They didn't allow him to see too much pressure, bro. But
bro, the funniest thing, I was listening to the Dan Le Batard show today, and he said the funniest thing, bro. He was like, that game against the Jets was a condensed version of the past 7 years of Ryan Tannehill experience as a Dolphin, bro. He just gave it to you all in one game, bro. Like, just the worst sacks at the worst time. I was dying, bro. It was so funny. Because like
he knows, man.
Bro,
he knows.
even when they were almost gonna win the game or try to tie the game, at least make it a tie, right? And this nigga took a sack that took him out of field goal range. I'm like, bro, come on, bro.
Tell you, man, bad Tannehill showed up in a big way, and of course it would be to a team that he saw a lot throughout his career, the Jets, bro. It's almost like the Jets wanted to make life miserable for him. And you know what? We've been shitting on this nigga, man, and rightfully so, because he has been about as bad as he could be through the first 3 games. But Zach Wilson, the actual second overall pick, showed up in parts. He wasn't like that the whole game. He had a rough start to the game. Of course, it's not a Zach Wilson game if he doesn't throw a pick. But he bounced back nicely. He threw a lovely fucking deep pass for a touchdown. Threw another nice touchdown. He looked good, man. And maybe the Jets could finally have some hope, man. Fuck them though.
Nah, right? Fuck them. Hey, listen, we a team, so fuck them niggas, bro. However, you do bring it up. You bringing up Zach Wilson does make me want to have a little brief conversation about all the rookie quarterbacks. I watched every single rookie quarterback this week, going all the way back to Thursday Night Football with the Jags against the Cincinnati Bengals with Trevor Lawrence, right? And in their own way, I don't know how much stock I could put into each game, but I will say this. If you are bullish on every single quarterback, every single one proved why they were drafted in the first round or in the top 5, right? Starting with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, you could see the wheels turning. Like you could see him fighting the urge to do some dumb shit in that game, because he was like, okay, there were times where you see him scanning the field and their urge was to just throw a ridiculous pass. And then he's like, oh no, this is the NFL. These guys are really good too. Let me just throw this check down, right? And he figured that part out, which is important for his development. Justin Fields, I'm sorry. You saw that, okay, if you give him time, he can make some of the best throws that you'll see. Like, he had 3 throws, and each one of them were ridiculous, right? One was wide open. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give him that much credit, but there was one that he threw on the sideline just in a bucket. And then there was this crazy throw that he did. It was like 35 yards on the field over a cornerback right in front of a safety in the most ridiculous spot that he could put it. Like, it was literally a bullseye. And I'm just like, okay, I see why. I see the potential for him. Even Mac Jones, the dude plays in a 10-yard box, but he plays that box as good as you could play it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%. 100%. He is Alex Smith.
Exactly. But even better is Alex Smith, because you can see all of his limitations. You can see there is a high-level quarterback in there, right? The ability to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 back to 1 in a second. The ability to sidestep and avoid the rush. You can see all the positives. The problem is that the limitations right now at the very moment are holding him back, because, bro, it takes 10 years for a ball to go down 20 yards with this nigga, dog. That should just be floating in the air, bro.
It flows, man. He throws miles, man.
It just be floating, bro. It's like, God damn. And then we'll finish off with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, if he could just do the easy, boring shit good, he will end up being the best quarterback in this class. That's the only thing holding him back, because how can you miss a 10-yard out route that's right in front of you with no pressure, but at the same time throw a 60-yard bomb and hit a nigga in the hands between two defenders while you're jumping in the air, bro? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, bro. But like I said, if you're bullish on every single quarterback, every single game that they played this week, you could say, you know what? I like that. That reinforced my bias that I had, a positive bias going into the season about each of these guys, bro. So I'm going to be interested to see their development. With that, though, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to get right back to it. All right, man, we are back. We're going to go ahead and close out week 4. And at this portion of the episode, we have our final observations about the week 4. We always do this. This is new segment that we introduced this season. We have Red Zone. We both love Red Zone. I've said it on many occasions. It's the greatest channel ever created. I'm not going to lie to you. More and more, I appreciate that, because otherwise I'd be stuck with the Dolphins, bro. Thank God for Red Zone. Thank God for Red Zone. I
can't mad at you for feeling that way, bro. I honestly can't.
1 o'clock is a lifesaver, bro, because I don't got to put it on the Dolphins. Thank God. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. These are the random thoughts from Red Zone, man. And I have a couple thoughts, starting with this one. The Falcons don't know how to use Kyle Pitts at tight end, but they know how to use Cordell Patterson at tight end. Strange. Washington, Atlanta is the shootout of the week. Didn't see that one coming. Even when it's not Daniel Jones's fault, it's still Daniel Jones's fault. Is this Taysom Hill or is this Ron Dane? Can't nobody tackle this guy. What the fuck? Dolphins might have the cleanest throwbacks in the entire league. This Dolphin offense does not deserve the honor of wearing those clean-ass throwbacks, bro. That was literally the next thought that I had, bro. After I started watching the game.
Oh, my God.
And this is the next thought I had, literally, immediately, bro. I'd have to have a lobotomy to enjoy watching this Dolphins offense, bro.
Oh, the pureness, man. The authenticity, man. I feel it, man.
Oh, shit. All right, Next one. Taylor Heineke, once again, for a second week in a row, is still the smallest person on the field, but he has moxie. Next one. I can't name a single skill player on the Colts, bro. Wow. Justin Fields throws a really pretty ball. The Lions have to be cursed. Have to be. Zach Wilson doesn't deserve this defense, but that was early on and before he just went crazy in the second half. And then Jared Goff fumbles the same way that Jameis Winston throws picks. And probably my favorite one of the season so far, bro. Jacoby Brissett must think he's Randall Cunningham in the pocket or something, dog, because he's tripping right now, bro. Bro, do you remember that play where he fumbled? What was he doing, Rod? What the fuck was he doing?
Bro, Jacoby did a lot of mind-numbing things in the game, bro. That was just one of many, man. That was just one of many.
Bro, it's the crazy part. So he broke the first tackle, and he was still trying to juke niggas. Like, bro, you are a statue, bro. Just throw the ball away. What are you doing, bro?
Just get it out your hands, man, please. You're not Randall, bro. You're not Mike Vick. You're none of these niggas, man.
All right, so what are your random thoughts for the red zone, bro?
All right, so my random red zone thoughts. First random red zone thought. The Dolphins suck, man. Daniel Jones almost threw the nastiest on-target pick in the end zone. Clearly, he was targeting Lattimore. This was early in the Cowboys game. Panthers giving the boys everything they could handle. Of course, they missed the field goal. The Falcons just scored, and I need them to keep coming. One of my 2 surviving tickets depends on y'all. Tannehill out here looking like he's playing for Adam Gase again. Wild to think we're more than 3.5 games into the season and the Jets just got their first lead of the season. Oh, look, the Dolphins on red zone. That can't be good. Of course we sack. Dolphins have 74 total yards entering the fourth quarter. Laughable. Of course, the Lions would give Justin Fields a platform to display his talent. Trevon Diggs, pick. There's the Sam we all know and love. Come here, buddy. Jared Goff, my man, developing nicely into a garbage time champion. Trevon Diggs is the new Xavier Howard. Zach Wilson just made his best throw to date. Beautiful touchdown pass to Corey Davis. He's still a bust, though. The Dolphins make anything involving offense look hard. Both touchdowns look like we almost ain't have them. The Cardinals putting that stank on the Rams right now. And my final red zone thought of the week, Jimmy G is still a bum.
I mean, those are excellent, man. I loved every single one of them, bro. However, that is just our random thoughts. What I do want to know is, what's in that bag, Rod? I can smell something. It smells terrible. Man. It smells putrid. It smells like some bad dope. So, Rod, every week we have a running of the worst performances by a coach, team, and or player. Who are your nominees and who overall won your award, which is a weekly award for bad dope of the week, Rod? Oh, God, I can smell that shit from motherfucking Alaska, boy. That shit stank this week, boy. God damn.
Look, the stankest dope that I have for you, man, you ain't ready for it, man. Like, this is a different level of dope. But I do, before I get to it, I do have some honorable mentions that I need to mention, right? And the first of my honorable mention will be the Denver Broncos. So Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, so it's not all their fault. But one of the former mainstay champions of You're the Worst, Drew Lock, he filled in nicely. These niggas, man, they only had 254 yards of offense. They were 3 of 14 on third down. Wow. They only had 148 net passing yards, allowed 5 sacks, 15 first downs. Just all in all, just poor, awful performance. The next on my honorable mentions of bad dope, we got the Vikings. Look, man, let me tell you something, my nigga. When you score 7 points in 60 minutes, you got to be in consideration, man. Got to be in consideration, man. And, you know, the Vikings, of course, 190 net passing yards, 5 of 16 on third down, 1 of 3 on fourth down. Kirk Cousins was not particularly inspiring in this game. 255 total yards. They were just extremely pedestrian. Next on the honorable mentions, I don't even have to say anything. It's the Dolphins, right? I went ad nauseum on them. My final honorable mention would have to be, and it almost doesn't feel right if I don't even mention these niggas, because I feel like they've just been on since I started this. The Detroit Lions, man. These niggas once again scored 14 points. They fumbled the bag 4 straight times in the red zone. How anybody could do that? Only the Lions can achieve such a feat. You would think a team like that would be the worst dope, but man, look, there was a team this week, man, like this dope here, man. This shit could cause cancer, man. This the type of shit, man. You smoke this shit, nigga. You're gonna smell like skunk and fucking horseshit.
It's that camel dope, man. That shit from that. That's that Marlboro dope, man. Ooh wee. Let me hear this, bro. Because if there was dope worse than the Detroit Lions, dog, I need it. Give it to me, baby.
So the worst dope of the week, the baddest dope of the week, the stankest dope of the week has to go to the Houston Texans, man. First and foremost, man, when you put up a goose egg, bro, it's going to be hard for me not to make you the bad dope of the week. But then you got to get into the nitty-gritty of the game, man. The team had 109 total yards, bro. 61 net passing yards. They had 5 turnovers, Herb. 10 penalties for 100 yards. 1 for 9 on third down. Only converted 1 fourth down. 21 minutes of time of possession. It was a complete domination. 6 first downs. 48 rushing yards, however you want to look at it. It was a complete abomination of a football team playing football. The Bills completely massacred them, and the Houston Texans left some of the stankest shit you'll ever smell ever in your life. The Houston Texans are the bad dope of the week.
Man, goddamn, bro. Ooh, like I said I could smell it from Alaska. I'll take that back, bro. I can smell that shit from Hawaii, boy. P.U., my guy. P.U. P.U.
Disgusting.
That was an excellent list of bad dope of the week. However, I think I got something that might one up you.
The main event.
It's going to be a lot of repeat offenders. You know, if there's some bad dope, usually the reason why the dope is so bad is because the quarterback play is phenomenally bad. You mentioned some teams. Spoiler alert, Broncos. Spoiler alert, Lions. Spoiler alert, Houston Texans. So with that, let me go ahead and give you my 5 nominees for You're the Worst Quarterback of the Week. And it pains me. I like these guys. These guys try hard. I have to do my part and be honest about what I'm observing. And what I'm observing is the 5 worst quarterbacks that I've seen in week 4. Starting with number 4. My apologies. Starting with number 5, Drew Lock. Jesus Christ, man. He was so bad. The only reason why he's number 5 is because technically he wasn't the starter. But I will say this. There's a reason why Vic Fangio was like, I have to start Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm going to leave it like that. Coming in at number 4, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is one of those guys where it is obvious, and when they say that you can't look at stats don't tell the truth, you mentioned it, bro. He has become the king of garbage time stats, bro. Don't look at the 299 passing yards. Don't look at the 63% completion percentage. Don't look at the 2 touchdowns. Don't look at the lack of interception that he threw. Understand that he had 4 straight drives in the end zone, 2 of them at the 1-yard line, and they all ended up as turnovers, bro. How do you have 3 fumbles in one game, dog? 2 of them that you lost. One of them where you didn't even understand how to snap the ball, dog. It literally just fell out of your hand, bro. Coming in at number 3, this man has created history. The first time ever where a single quarterback has been on You're the Worst 4 straight weeks in a row. His name is Big Ben Roethlisberger. Incredible. Never before done. This man is breaking records on and off the field, bro. Coming in at number 2, another record. Normally, when you win the game, if you are bad and you win the game, I automatically slot you at the 5 position out of respect because you won the game. However, Baker Mayfield broke the matrix. He was so bad that in a win, he's still ranked number 2. How do you do that? It takes a true focused, laser-focused person who is determined to be on our list to do that. How do you end up on You're the Worst as a winner and end up as number 2? Well, you go 15 for 33 in one game and only have 155 yards passing. However, the true reason why he is on this list is because in that game, to completely put the game away, he had one of the most talented wide receivers of all time. His name is Odell Beckham Jr. And he threw the ball to Odell Beckham, who was wide open on the seam route, so bad that you could see Odell Beckham with a full helmet, visor on, and all pads say, "What the fuck was that?" I saw it through his helmet, bro. However,
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Of course, you can see with his body language. He just said, "Yo, what was that, my nigga?" I've never seen a wide receiver do that, bro. I knew what he was saying immediately. However, Drew Lock, Jared Goff, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and Baker Mayfield couldn't do what this guy did, which is to win You're the Worst QB by a landslide. He has taken over for Zach Wilson against the Patriots as by far the worst quarterback performance in the entire history of You're the Worst, bro. Can I tell you that Davis Mills, and these are not Photoshop, these are not user-generated stats. These are true stats that happened in the game. Davis Mills went 11 for 21. Only had 87 passing yards. Oof. Only had a 4.1 yard per attempt. And in the rare occasion where you have less than 100 passing yards, he also threw 4 picks and had 2 fumbles in the same game. And the ultimate way to sum up what Davis Mills did, Davis Mills, according to ESPN and QBR, had the worst QBR in the past 3 seasons since the stat has been recorded with a 0.8. Davis Mills, phenomenal, special, generational performance. And with that, it is my honor to say, Davis Mills, you're the worst QB of the week, man.
God, that's a 0.8 QBR.
0.8. Phenomenal. Generational quarterback performance yesterday, bro.
Oh God.
Generational performance, man. All right, man. Anything you're looking forward to in regards to week 5 before we go ahead and close the chapter on week 4? As we close the chapter on week 4, my boy.
Week 5. Well, I know the Dolphins play the Bucks, man, and I don't know if I could say I'm particularly looking forward to that. I just hope it's not too ugly, man. You know, because some of these games you think like, oh, it might get ugly. Nah, this just gonna get ugly, man. Now I think the Thursday night game is it the Rams? Is it the Rams and Seahawks?
I think so. It might be. Listen, I don't even have that shit up or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, it is the Rams and Seahawks. I'm looking at the list of games now. The Sunday night game is going to be awesome. It's going to be Buffalo at Kansas City.
Yeah, that should be a good game. That's going to be the game where either Buffalo gets that monkey off their back or we're just going to be like, all right, bro, y'all not at that level yet.
I mean, and the thing with Buffalo, man, I'm sure I haven't looked at their stats, but their stats must look crazy because they have 2 shutouts in the first 4 games that combine for 75 points. So they're 75-0 and just plus differential in those 2 games. And then they lost to the Steelers, I believe, but then they also beat the shit out of the Washington. So we finally get to see them in a real test. And they've been beating the shit out of teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kansas City can handle that juggernaut. We also get another the NFC West is just becoming primetime TV. We get the Niners at Cardinals, although the Cardinals might put the stank on them niggas, man, the way they looked last week, man. But yeah, out of all the games, those are probably the games I would say are the most interesting next week.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely that's probably going to be the game I'm most interested in because knowing the NFC West, bro, watch the Niners curb stomp the fucking Cardinals, bro. Just throw everything into a wrench. I will say this is the most parity I've seen in the NFL in quite some time. Where it's like I can honestly say there's not a truly great team that is far and above anybody else, right? There's a lot of good teams. There's a lot of great teams potentially, but they're not playing up to it. The Bucks are great potentially, not playing up to it. The Chiefs are great potentially, but their defense is atrocious. So yeah, there's a lot of parity, bro. And this is going to be one of the. Let me run it back. This Bills game is going to really let us know about if the Bills, put it like this, with the Chiefs as bad as the defense is this year and bad as their linebackers core is this year, if the Bills don't do it, bro, they never believe in the Bills until something catastrophic happens to the Chiefs, bro. Like, they have to win this game. They have to. Otherwise, it's going to get in their heads, bro. But with that, man, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. Appreciate you for being the greatest co-host a guy can have. Once again, Rod, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's listening, man. And we'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate it, man. Much love to you. Much love to everybody who gives us a listen, man. Deuces.